Alright, here we have Andy and Brian McDonald. Let's go back and take a look at what they got. They're two-handing, sailing at about 430 pounds. Looking at his leech profile, I like what I see. Perhaps he could, instead of easing there with that little puff game, he should have predicted it. Maybe, like that instead. Although he's doing a pretty good job with it. Take a look at the little open right now, so he's just not doing that. Now let's take a look at the jib. I'd call that just barely a little bit loose. I'd like to see it maybe just a half-inch closer to the shroud. Take a look down here at the skirting, maybe just tighter just by a little bit. So, Brian, I'd like to see you look a little bit ahead more, and whenever there's a lull, lean in a little bit sooner, a little puff, kind of lean out, let your dad just kind of, steer comfortably and only make big changes, and you move constantly. So you should be looking ahead and counting a puff down, for example. Say puff in 3, 2, 1, and right when you're saying 1, you should start to lean out a little bit. And then Andy, you can, what happens is one of these puffs will come and you'll ease the main a little bit, right? Well, that's just what I want you to pull it in. And
it's easier to bear off when it's the header.
Yeah, but I'd much rather see you lean out to bear off. Like what's happening is you're heeling up.
Right.
You're easing the main, so the boat wants to head up because you're heeling up. Right. So the puff comes, it's a header or not, you should both be leaning out a little bit more. And then maybe you don't pull the main in as soon, but the puff is blowing open the leech anyway. Right. It's already open. Right. So you're just losing power as far as I'm concerned. You just got that nice little puff to accelerate in, and the first thing you do is dump it. Right. and the second thing you do is you're heeling up, which makes you want to head up when you're trying to bear off. And the third thing is you're just not getting the power out of it because you want to use your body leverage to keep moving. Yeah, it's little, they're very subtle, so you're not far off, it's just little tiny things. And then the other thing is, I would think that, the jib's cut a little different than I'm used to seeing, but, especially at the bottom, like but it seemed like it was just a little far off, the slot was just a little too wide.
Is it open up there?
Yeah, just a little bit. It's not, I would say, I'd like to see it in, maybe, a half-inch more, an inch more, closer to the spreader. Okay. Which is like, nothing on the jib sheet. So those are, so all three of those things are really subtle differences.
Yeah, because the main on this is also flat in front too, so it makes the slot look a lot bigger.
But yeah, it looked big to me, so I'd at least experiment with it in a little more, see if it worked. If it doesn't work, ease it out again.
Well, I think that's what we found a lot of times. It does need to be squeezed a bit. It's just, so it's a good point, good reminder.
And maybe only when you're up to speed. So leave it out of attack or off a starting line or a batted set of waves or a header. And then once you feel like you're really up to speed, squeeze it in. You get a little more height. Squeeze the main and the jib in and get a little more height out of it.
All right.